A clean, centered menu is the difference between a game that looks finished and one that looks like a school project. Today we build one from scratch, entirely in Luau. A ScreenGui, a centered frame with rounded corners, a title, a real working button, and a tidy list layout. No plugins, no drag-and-drop mess, just code you can read, understand, and reuse in any game you make. One quick, honest heads up before we touch any code. If you would rather skip the building and drop a polished interface straight into your game, I made one. Buttons, frames, shop panels, and menus, already styled and ready to go, that is my Roblox Pro UI Kit. $19, completely optional, and the link is in the description. That is the whole pitch, no hard sell. Now let's build a clean GUI ourselves, and you will understand every single line. Every piece of UI in Roblox lives inside a ScreenGui. Think of it as the invisible canvas painted over the player's screen. Nothing you make will show up until it has a ScreenGui to live in. You have two ways to create one. In Studio, you can right-click Starter GUI and insert a ScreenGui by hand, then build inside it. Or you create it from a LocalScript, which is what we will do, so the whole menu is defined in code you can copy anywhere. Here is the key idea. Anything you put in Starter GUI gets copied into each player's PlayerGui when they join. That PlayerGui is the live, per-player copy that is actually on screen. So we grab the local player, make a new ScreenGui, and parent it straight to their PlayerGui. One flag matters here, reset on spawn set to false. Without it, your whole menu gets wiped and rebuilt every single time the player respawns, which resets any state you were holding. With it off, the canvas stays put, ready to hold everything else. Now the panel itself, a frame. This is the box that holds your title and your buttons, the solid rectangle players actually see. Here is where almost every beginner trips, so slow down with me on this one. Size and position both use a type called UDim2, and UDim2 takes 4 numbers: scale, offset, scale, offset. Scale is a fraction of the parent, from 0 to 1. Offset is a flat number of pixels added on top. So a width of 0 scale and 320 offset is always 320 pixels wide, on every device. Position works the same way. A position of half, 0 means the exact middle of the screen. On a 1000 pixel wide screen, that half resolves to 500 pixels, automatically. That is why scale is so powerful, it adapts to phones, tablets, and monitors for free. But there is one catch that breaks people. By default, position sets the frame's top left corner, so that corner lands in the middle, not the frame itself. Your panel ends up shoved down and to the right. The fix is AnchorPoint. AnchorPoint decides which point on the frame the position actually controls. Set it to 0.5, 0.5, and position now points at the frame's own center. Center the anchor, center the position, and the panel is genuinely centered on any screen you can throw at it. Sharp 90-degree corners are one of the biggest things that make a menu feel dated and cheap. The fix is one tiny instance, UICorner, and it costs you 3 lines. You create a UICorner and parent it inside the frame, and Roblox quietly rounds that frame's corners for you. You do not size it or position it. It just modifies whatever it is parented to. The roundness is a single property, CornerRadius, and it is a UDim, not a UDim2, so just 2 numbers. Give it 0 scale and 12 offset, for a soft 12 pixel radius. Turn the offset up for pill-shaped buttons, down for a subtle edge. And here is the nice part. Drop the exact same UICorner inside your buttons later, and every element matches automatically. One tiny instance per element, and the whole interface instantly looks modern and intentional. Every menu needs a heading, and for text we use a TextLabel. We make one, size it to full width and a fixed 44 pixels tall, and set its text to the word shop. Now a handful of properties turn a default gray box into something that looks designed. Text color 3 to white, so it reads clearly on the dark panel. Background transparency to 1, which makes the label's own background fully see-through, so only the text floats there and the frame shows behind it. Font to Gotham Bold, which is the clean, rounded font Roblox itself uses across its menus. And text scaled set to true, which is the one people forget. It tells the text to automatically resize to fit its box, instead of getting clipped or overflowing on smaller screens. Parent it to the frame, and your panel has a crisp, readable title that looks right everywhere. Now the part players actually touch, a button. A text button is almost identical to a text label, with one difference: it is clickable, and it fires events. We create one, size it, give it the text by, and reuse Gotham Bold and text scaled so it perfectly matches the title above it. The magic is a single event, mouse button one click. You connect a function to it, and that function runs every time the player left clicks or taps the button. On a phone, a tap counts as that same click, so this works on every device with no extra code. For now, inside the function, we just print the word clicked. That way you can open the output window in Studio and literally watch it fire each time you press the button. It is the simplest possible proof that your UI is wired up correctly. Later, that same function is where the real game lives. It might open a shop, spend coins, or play a sound. Or it fires a remote event, telling the server the player wants to buy something. Right now the title and button would pile up in the top corner, because we never positioned them. You could hand place every element with its own position, but that is tedious. It also breaks the moment you add or remove one. So instead, let Roblox arrange them for you. A UIListLayout, parented into the frame, automatically stacks every sibling in a neat vertical column, in order, and reflows them whenever the list changes. You give it 2 settings. Set its padding to 8 pixels, so the elements are spaced apart instead of glued together. And set its horizontal alignment to center, so every item lines up neatly down the middle of the panel. Then add a UI padding to push everything a little off the frame's edges, so your content does not touch the border. Set padding top to 10 pixels for some breathing room at the top. A layout plus a little padding, and suddenly the whole thing looks designed, not just dumped on screen. So that is a clean Roblox GUI, top to bottom. A ScreenGui is the canvas on the player's screen, parented into their PlayerGui. A frame is the panel, centered with UDim2 and an anchor point of 0.5. UICorner rounds it with a single corner radius. A text label titles it, using Gotham Bold and text scaled so it always fits. And a text button with mouse button one click makes it actually do something when pressed. Then UIListLayout and UIPadding arrange it all into a tidy, spaced column. Remember the 2 ideas beginners get wrong. UDim2 is always scale plus offset, a fraction plus pixels. An anchor point 0.5, 0.5 is the trick that truly centers a frame on any screen. Nail those 2, and you can build absolutely any menu. Here is your next move. The full written guide is linked below, with every snippet laid out and ready to copy and paste. And if you want a whole set of buttons, frames, and menus already styled and drop-in ready, I made one. The Roblox Pro UI Kit is $19, and the link is in the description. Subscribe for more Roblox scripting tutorials, and go build an interface you are genuinely proud of.